Intro music to Illuvium Showcase. What's up, everybody? Andrew Wall here, host and executive producer at Illuvium, and I hope you're excited to get bonus leaks this week. It's going to be incredible. We've got audio leaks, we've got video leaks, we've got art, we've got designs, you name it. It's all going to be here this week, and the king of leaks himself, Von Leekman, is here. Before I bring him in, though, I want to make sure it's abundantly clear that nothing we show you or talk about or say in this episode is financial advice. You're responsible for doing your own research, get your own professional advice, not watching a show like this and thinking this is financial advice. But you already knew that because you know that I'm not actually a professional. But you know who is a professional artist and an incredible creative director and co-founder of Illuvium? This man, Grant Warwick, in the house. Give it up for him, everybody. Grant Warwick.
How are you not a professional? I mean, this is as professional as it gets.
Thanks, buddy. Rock Newman. Now, you missed last week, amigo, but last week we showed every rock you sent over to me. Everybody was throwing rock puns and throwing like just lots of rock jokes. It was great. So the people love the rocks. What can I say?
Gotta keep it going. I was laughing when I sent it to you too. I was like, fuck, there are a lot of rocks. They're gonna go crazy over this.
So many rocks. All right, we're not gonna hold you guys hostage any longer. We've got videos that we want to show you. We've got 17 videos, as well as 2 really cool audio leaks that we want to show you first. Then we're going to get into the characters and all of that. So let's just start with the videos. Let's go full screen here and get into the videos, my friend. Here is video number 1 this week. And this is one I think we leaked on social media. More of the monkey rogue resisting being caught, right, Grant?
Well, this is me walking to the computer, getting ready for this live stream.
This is you, yeah, because it's 4 a.m. right now, and you're just like barely holding on right now. Look at this man's face. Actually, I think it's the same face right here. Yeah, it's the exact same face. I think they scanned him, biometrically scanned him onto that asset. But this monkey rogue does not want to be caught. You guys have seen a bunch like this, and these animations are great.
Yeah, they're getting really good.
They are. Now, who's this cutie, and what do we show? This is to show the groom effects, correct?
Yeah, this is the drop there that wasn't meant to be leaked, but that now is out of the bag.
Is it your fault that it was leaked?
I mean, we did it on this show. I mean, you got to realize sometimes I'll send you a bunch of stuff saved from my downloads folder, and I'll just drag in stuff that's not meant to be there and don't really cross-reference it. So
there you go.
That's how it happens most of the time. It's not my fault.
It's not his fault at all. I have people messaging me now saying, please don't leak. Please make sure this doesn't get leaked. That's awesome. Okay, this one has some loud audio here, guys. This one's Mammoth fainting, stage 2.
So
very good. We also have some extra Mammoth action if you guys want to check it out. I'm going to turn the Illuvium soundtrack back on. Oh my god.
Jesus, loud.
I'll turn that down. Sorry about that.
No, it's kind of good.
It's crazy good. You want me to turn it up then?
I mean, well, we can do whatever. I just can't hear anything else. How cool is it?
This is so cool. The audio is so good in this with this particular segment. Sorry about that. This is a giant luminescent hazelnut.
Yes, the electric plant with crimson waste. It's kind of funny to go all the way from concept to model to texture to low poly to shaders to animation, then to VFX. Whenever you see a VFX on stuff, you know that it's very close to final. After this, it's just optimization.
Very cool. I turned it down, guys. Sorry, these sound effects. It is indeed absolutely electric. Sorry the sound effects were so loud. I have them cranked up so you guys at home can hear. Here's another one. What do people need to know about this, Grant?
Oh, just that the sound engineering that the guys are working on at the moment. There's another video in this episode that goes a little bit more into the details of the technicals behind how the sound works in the game. There's some really, like, genius stuff that the guys are doing.
Yeah, we saw a video where there was a montage of all the layers and filtering that they had done to create this particular sound effect, which was great. The community loved that.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. But just in terms of the spatial direction and the reverb and echoes that you get in the game, like if you think, like if you're around a wall, just because you're close to that sound doesn't mean you'll hear it the same. It's got to echo around the wall, and Unreal Engine has some cool things that you can do to set that up. I don't understand how it's done, but they've been working on it for a while, and I think it's going to make everything in the game feel a lot more immersive, because there are actual hits that are taking place, like ray traced hits with the sound volumes and things like that. Anyway,
Very
we can
cool.
jump on to the next one.
Yeah, we're going to do a full-blown
same
sound episode in the future, so we will go into further detail there, friends. This one is testing a scene with Laura, right?
Yeah, so Laura's been working on VFX for the buildings to be nanized. This stuff isn't necessary for the beta, but it's just a last polishing detail that happens to indicate to the player that the buildings are being nanized. And I think that's a slightly outdated one. Now it goes vertical, but...
Hey, it's all work in progress. Get to see behind the scenes here. This one's got some audio. Help me understand what we're showing in this one. There's just some numbers on the file.
The new sprint from Alex. So there's walk, run, sprint. There's the zoom, aim. It's... Now you'll see that, yeah, now the sprint looks good. Whereas in previous versions and in some of the live streams I was doing, the sprint wasn't implemented and it just didn't look as fluent. Alex sent me some really cool stuff yesterday, and it was something another studio had been working on with the slide animations and some of the parkour-based stuff that we want to implement into this game, and that's what he'll be working on next. And the example he sent through, obviously we can't share it here, it looked like, I just felt like finally, like there's so many areas of Illuvium that need sliding to traverse through the levels much faster. And that's gonna achieve it.
I agree, and I like the way with the sprinting how it kind of zooms in a bit and kind of gives you that tunnel vision effect as you're going, that makes you feel like you're going super fast and leaning in. That nice camera movement and angle, and there's a shake there too. You're right.
Yeah, Alex did say, and I have been saying for a while, that we would update this stuff, and all of these things that we say eventually do happen.
Perfect. Okay, let's move on to the next leak. Ooh, this one's pretty loud too.
Yeah, this is the spatial sound information. So this is the behind the scenes of how Unreal Engine is prioritizing different sounds in the game and how they react. Very cool. You can see how technical every element of a AAA game truly is. We're getting into a level now where, like, I've never done sound engineering or anything like that, so it just makes no sense to me. But once we get Nico on for the sound showcase episode, I'm sure he'll be happy to break down all the stuff the team's been working on and implementing.
Very cool. Cranked up the sound for all of you guys, turned down the music so you guys could enjoy that one. If you guys couldn't already tell, I've got the official Illuvium soundtrack playing in the background.
So, can you pause this one?
Yeah, one moment. Paused.
So, if you remember ages ago when we first started speaking about the capturing flow and how I was telling everyone that we were going to make it cinematic and go to this crazy 10 out of 10 level.
Yes.
And that there were other things in the game too that needed that same love. You know, the fusing mechanic, the teleporting mechanic, the capturing mechanic. There's a few things in the game. There's not a huge amount, but there's a few things that we need to get perfect and make it look cinematic. And we're seeing 6 weeks of work from Peter here on the Obelisk teleport activation. It's still work in progress, but it's very AAA. Everyone's freaking out. So if we check the video out, this is 6 weeks so far of work from Peter, and he is the best VFX real-time artist I've ever seen. So I did say that there was going to be a huge amount of details and layering to this because if you're paying to access these regions, you want it to be good. Obviously, you can skip if it's taking a while, but the idea was that when you teleport, it has to load the next region. And so we would simultaneously be loading the next region while running through this teleport activation sequence.
Yes. Okay, do you want me to go ahead and play it then?
Yeah.
And also, just keep in mind, everybody, the video I'm showing you is relatively low resolution. So this is like a low-res screen capture of a screen capture here. So go ahead and enjoy. I'll turn down the music so you guys can enjoy this one in its full glory. Here we go. This one's effing insane. They're gonna love it.
It's so stupid. Still work in progress.
So stupid.
Anyway. This is where you'll choose your region. There'll be a holographic display of each map you can teleport to and cycle through before activating.
Okay, so holographic map will be added on top of this.
Yeah, still work in progress. Oh!
What? Dang!
She's meant to be teleporting at this point, like, it's crazy. Pretty cool loading screen. Harder, bang!
Oh my god. I gotta pause after that.
Dude.
Whoa. That is such a sick animation. You can feel, like, it's unfinished right now. You could feel the power of that animation. That's a loading screen?
Yeah, well, it's not. It's technically not a loading screen. It's simultaneously loading while giving the option to cycle maps. But I guess what happens is once... I don't know how they're going to implement this straight away. Maybe straight away when the game's in beta, the first thing it'll cut to a loading screen because there's some technical implementation and make it load while having another scene up. But I know it's possible. I just don't know if it's possible straight away. But there's, like I said, the wait is always worth it. And I think that was pretty ridiculous. When someone is entering, even if you skip that after the first 2-3 times, right? Like, think from the player's perspective. They were like hyped about this game for so long. Now the first thing they're going to do is pay to enter a region. It can't suck. Even if you skip it after 3 goes, it can't suck. And so those new players coming on board get greeted with the first thing as this ridiculous over-the-top AAA cinematic style teleport, and then bang, you land in. It elevates the experience in the region without making the region better. That's my personal opinion. And
I agree. It makes that moment, that traveling mechanic, that much more rewarding. And you're right. It's a huge part of the economy. People are going to be paying to do this, so you need to give them the reward. The same reason why when there's pack openings and that type of thing in video games, the pack opening animation is so rewarding when you get your pack opened for a reason. People paid good money to get that, and so you should be rewarding them with a great experience. That was sick. That was so insane. Holy moly. Everybody, if you're enjoying that... Yeah.
But,
all right.
6 weeks for one VFX. You can see why, like, those important things, I've just taken a step back and, like, capturing, guys, just do your thing.
Man, do you want to watch it one more time?
Kind of.
Let's do it.
I mean,
Let's both shut up this time. We'll shut up this time and just let you guys enjoy it. Enjoy.
Crazy.
Dude, our audio team is so cracked. Like, they are so cracked out. Like, my God, that's good. Okay, let's move on to the next leak. We've got, that was just one leak. God, that was so sick, man. All right, let's go on and let's do some more leaks here, guys. Now we've got some plant animations.
Yeah, we're just working on some of the technical implementations of plants. Once again, this stuff isn't what's holding up the beta or anything like that. We are working on game optimization at the moment. You know, we have to make sure it runs on all of the target PCs properly. But while that's happening, the tech team and animation team are working on new idle plant animations. And I just thought I'd share an update on that. So this won't go into the beta, but it's just what we're continuing on with.
Got it. Yeah, we've got a number of these to share with you guys, so I'm just going to flip through them so you guys can enjoy the work that the team is doing.
They might get put into the beta, but we're not pushing for that. You know, like as soon as optimization's done, then we're done.
Got it. So these are the idle animations, and this is kind of on top of, if you will, or in companion with the us being able to interact with the plants when you step on them, run by them, all the different physics that have been that are being customized with the plants, so that they're very interactive. But obviously, when you're not touching them, they need to look like they're moving like a real plant.
Yeah, but there's some very technical problems to solve there that I'll get into in another episode. I have touched on it before, but basically we have to blend between skeletal animation and physics animation and material-based idling animation, so the performance is there. This game would be much easier to do if, you know, it was all for one spec of computer, but we've got to hit all of the low-spec stuff as well, so...
Understood.
It makes it a little bit harder when we're constantly trying to optimize everything as well. That's one of the hold-ups.
Yep, that makes sense. I think these last couple are not... Oh, God. Sorry, Mammoth just busted in on us. Is it just me, or is this mammoth sound disturbing? Like, this is nightmare fuel. Imagine being a caveman, waking up and having this, like, outside of your camp. It'd be the most disturbing thing ever. Very cool. This is a taunt animation for Mammoth Stage 1.
Stage 2.
Yep, Stage 2. And of course, this is the Stage 3, goes without saying. Beautiful. So, what we're gonna do now is I've got 2 sound clips that I want to play for everybody. And do you want to give any context on these Mozart sounds before I play them for everyone? And then we'll be quiet and let those play.
They've been trying to figure out the sound profile for Mozart. We want it to be recognizable, but not a clone of like what other robotic voices have done in games or movies. So they've been refining this for about 6 months to a year now, just randomly jumping on and iterating on the sound. Now they've gotten something very complex, and I believe it's a really cool balance. You know, Mozart was always meant to be cute, like Stage 1, because in the game, You've got the fusing drone, which is the stage 2, and then Gaudi and Buckley, which are like stage 3s. So like everything in the game adheres to that stage 1, 2, 3 evolution. And so Mozart stage 1. So we wanted to keep him cute, and you're just going to hear where they're up to with Mozart's voice for when there's in-game text prompts about when you're hitting checkpoints and things like that. So he'll make sounds and noises, and check it out.
Got it. Okay, everybody, put your headphones on, turn up the volume. You're going to see an animation looping on the screen, but it's about what you hear when I play this, not what you see on the screen. Got it? Listen up. All right,
Man,
that's it. Guys, did you understand
play
everything they said?
Did you
I
play
did.
it?
You guys
'Cause I
heard
was
it,
trying
right?
to. No, I was trying to talk for the last minute there. So maybe.
No, I think everybody
No,
heard the sound. You
I'm
were trying.
joking. No, I'm
Oh,
saying
okay,
it
I'm
was me
sorry.
talking. And
I'm sorry. I totally missed the joke. I'm like, oh God, I screwed up.
No. No.
Oopsie doopsie. Guys, what do you think of that? Sounds hard to hear what he's saying. Sounds like something out of Star Wars. I agree with that. When I heard it, it reminded me of Star Wars. I mean, yeah, it's kind of that far out fantasy sci-fi sound. Of course
You're
it's
not
going to be
meant to hear
reminiscent
what
of that.
he's saying, by the way.
What's that?
You're not meant to be hearing what he's saying, by the way. It's meant to be like very hazy, humanoid type voice.
Right. Guys, I have another one. You want me to play the second one here? The second clip that you sent over?
Is it similar? If it is similar,
I think it is similar. How about I play it for a moment? If it's similar, I'll cut it off after about 15 seconds, okay?
Cool.
Cool. Let's do it. Here's a second clip for you guys. It might be similar, though. Listen up.
Okay, now this is not good.
Yeah, that one is only 7 seconds long, so there you go.
Okay,
But there you go.
cool.
There's the clips. That's all the videos and sound from this episode. But we've got image leaks as well. If you're enjoying this, be sure to smash the freaking like button. Do it! Let's go ahead and get into the images, my friends. And Grant can provide us with context on these images. What are we looking at here, amigo?
Stabbin, the stage 2 penguin, is getting a final texturing pass.
Getting improved week over week. I love seeing the work in progress on this. Very, very cool. We've got a number of images here.
Stage 3.
Ooh, yeah, I like that. Let me turn the music back up here. Let's add a little ambiance to this. Perfect. What's that?
Slashing?
Look at the little helmet action here. I love that. So the ice armor look, really, really cool.
Trying to be inspired
Side
by
shot?
Sub-Zero.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely reminds me of Ancient Samurai. That's for sure. At least the helmet does. But I suppose Sub-Zero is inspired by that as well.
Slapping, stabbing, slashing.
Is that what it is? I don't know. You're asking the wrong guy.
No, I've got brain damage, so.
It's okay. We all do. Who are we looking at here? Who is this super cutie right here?
The poodle moth, stage 1. Has a
Poodle
hair
moth.
pass done now. Ready for cinematic stuff.
This image is pretty low res, so keep that in mind,
Yeah.
guys. But yeah,
Yeah.
see the hair? See how realistic it is? Looking really, really good. Super detailed. Look at the eyeball, man. Come on.
Did you share in last week's episode, because I didn't watch it yet, the screenshots I sent you from Alex on the animation, what's left to do in the game?
Yes, I did. With all of that text that was on the screen and everything, I
Yeah.
did share that. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, probably would have helped to have context on that, but that was the remaining animations for the characters in the game.
Mhm.
So you can see from that list, that's all that we have left to do in animation. So once everything's animated, it can technically be brought into the game.
Perfect. Here's your boy that never skips leg day. Are we showing just some additional armor, or what are we trying to show here?
Yeah, Alex has been upgrading the armor and polishing it. The forearms will get a little bit of a tweak, but this guy plays an integral role in the story of the game, so you'll be hearing more from him. You'll notice that he has different armor and is a little bit bulkier, so he's not a ranger. He's more of a commander type person. So it'd be very cool to see what people think once the trailer comes out.
We've got some design and art to show today. Probably some of the most impressive stuff from the episode. What are we showing here? Options A, B, C, and D.
Yeah, we're just working on alternate backgrounds now. So I think Kieran did an article a couple of weeks ago or whatever saying that art was currently the holdup in Illuvium 0. That's outdated information. Right now, they're just making it work in the polishing phase. But in terms of art, we're all done for Illuvium 0. And these are alternate backgrounds and skins for the buildings that we'll eventually be integrating later on. We won't have those on the first alpha, as far as I'm aware. But we do have plans to add skins to the buildings in Illuvium 0. And we obviously said that we were going to do backgrounds, alternate backgrounds, long term. So now that the art is done for the alpha, we're working on that type of stuff.
So when you say skins for the buildings, you mean they're going to be like region-based skins?
No, you'll just be able to choose the color combinations because everything in the game is 3-tone color. So you remember back when I was talking about the terminal hub in Sancta Mesa, how you can change the colors around? That's universal across the entire game.
I see.
If you unlock that skin in the hub of the main game, it's there in Illuvium 0, and that's where the interoperability comes from.
I understand now. Thank you for sharing that. That makes sense. And that's going to add more visual variety to the game, more customization. I think everybody can unanimously agree we like that idea. Essences. Look, this art is beautiful on these essences. It makes me want an Illuvium card game. So, well, Grant, I'm putting you on the spot. Win Illuvium card game.
Illuvium is a card game.
Right.
It already is, right? It's just masked under an autobattler, but it's essentially a card game. And the essences, these are placeholder artwork. They're not going to change drastically, but they're not 3D. These are 2D at the moment. And we want these to be modulating with VFX or rendered inside of like a proper 3D glass sphere that rotates in the final. We want all of the NFT artwork to be animated, even if it is just rotating, which is easy for us to do. So a little bit to do there, but for now, to get the game out, and I don't think it matters to players, to launch us into the beta. But obviously, there's crafting in the game. It's a heavy component to the game. You're going into these regions to gather resources, and part of the resources are the shards, the essences, minerals, and you need to combine those to create weapon pieces and skins and things like that.
Very cool. These are shard fragments, uncommon, rare, epic, as you guys can see, resplendent.
And these are actually
like legendary.
Yeah, maybe we can get some feedback from the player base. This was Ben's idea to use like words like resplendent. I don't feel like it sounds very sci-fi. Maybe that's just my opinion, but I'll wait. I'll definitely, I'm open-minded. I'll wait to see what people think. Like, I feel like epic feels sci-fi, but resplendent, we're going into some fantasy territory, and
it does feel fantasy. But isn't Illuvium fantasy sci-fi though? I mean, it's both, right?
I mean, I would say it's sci-fi. I would say it's sci-fi.
What do you guys think? Do you guys agree with, where does it sit on the sci-fi versus fantasy spectrum? I agree that it is certainly more sci-fi than fantasy. That's for sure.
Is Star Wars fantasy?
Yeah. Oh, I would say so. Yeah, I would say.
10% fantasy though. Like,
Yeah, I would say something like Illuvium is sort of like 80% sci-fi, 20% fantasy. Something
Yeah.
like Star Wars would be like a 90-10, 90% sci-fi, 10% fantasy, something like that. That's just my opinion.
yeah, I'd say 95% sci-fi, but whatever.
Okay, we can disagree on the percentages.
We can disagree.
All good. It doesn't really matter. It's mostly sci-fi. Hate Essence, Wrath, Guardian. I just love the way the art looks. Looks beautiful.
It's beautiful.
Especially that Fury Essence. Looks absolutely breathtaking. I love it.
To be totally honest with you, I don't know how these factor into the crafting properly. I don't know if you need like 5 of these and like 4 minerals and, to craft different items. That's something that's been late to the game in terms of being implemented, the crafting. We've been rushing to get that out for the beta. And so I'm in the dark on where the ingredients are and what type of amount of grind is required to get these things. But I'm also excited to it's great sometimes in this development not knowing what something's going to be like, because then you get to just experience it without it feeling like you know everything about the game and you can't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Very, very cool.
It is. All of the art in Illuvium is wonderful. That's why I want it on card. I want to physically hold these things in my hands. That's kind of what I'm getting after. I know it's a card game. You know what I mean? It's kind of like having like a graphic novel with beautiful art. It's cool to have it on your iPad and look at it digitally, but to hold it in your hands, it's a whole nother level of experience of enjoying a beautiful work of art, right? So we have a leak here. I think this is an audio leak. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the screen. Can you provide some context on this one? This was an audio workspace, correct? Is this music specifically? I see guitars over here, as well as some pads.
This is music. I believe this is from Benjamin layering some of the tracks. It's just crazy, the amount of work. From every single different category, just so much detail goes here. This is one track, I believe this is maybe this is the ambience for Crimson Waste, the ambient Crimson Waste music. And I'm
looking for context clues here on what it could be from.
I think it's honestly the ambient Crimson Waste music. That's what it is.
Okay, that's what it is. That would explain the pads and auras there. And then who knows what the guitars would represent. But anyway.
It's procedural, right? So the ambience has to take bits and pieces, and that's where you get some of that technical implementation with what sounds are playing and where they play and the sound effects that are applied to them when they play, so that you can play the game for an hour and not hear the same ambience loop over and over and over again.
Well, here's a pitch for you right now from the community, Grant. Judge Star X says Supernova is better than Resplendent. What do you think? Here's Supernova. So instead of common, uncommon, rare, epic, they're saying Supernova Shard. Ooh, what do you think of that?
It's pretty cool. It's cooler than Resplendent. Sorry, Ben.
Getting called out.
Maybe we need to. He loves it, but he comes from TFT where it's all fantasy, so.
All right, fair enough. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and move forward with the rest of the leaks. Don't worry, guys. We've got plenty of rocks coming right up. Don't you worry. What are we looking at here, Grant?
Looking at the giant tree trunk in Abyssal Basin from one of the main the main tree assets. So Abyssal Basin is in a good state right now, but it was lacking some areas. Like Crimson Waste has 10 or 12 different very well Cetrus areas, and we wanted the same for Abyssal Basin. So while the asset team and modelers and things like that are running out of some of the smaller work, now we're getting to do some of the bigger work that makes the game look unique in each area of each sub-region.
Very cool. Now, is this hand-painted, if you will, digitally plant? Is in this stage of development with this plant?
That's a test work in progress from Arthur experimenting with ferns, but obviously this is the high poly. Yeah, this is one of the ferns. So we replace the leaves, the high poly leaves, with just flat planes and apply these as texture cards. Some of the details, I believe this is from Shard Bluff.
Oh, really? This looks like it's from Halcyon Sea.
Yeah, I think this is one of the orange plants. Maybe it is from Halcyon Sea, but I believe this is from Shard Bluff. It wraps around some of the rocks.
Oh, okay. It looks aquatic. I mean, you could see why. I would think that.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right, but from memory, I believe this is Shard Bluff.
Cool. Looks good.
This is Halcyon Sea, 100%. Just texturing updates from Arena.
Very cool. I can just see these little plants in the top moving up here. They look like they look grabby to me. I don't know. They look like grabby fingers.
Yeah, they're meant to have a lot of subsurface. So this is just showing the diffuse texture, but in game they'll look different to this. They'll have an actual subsurface map flowing them. They're not meant to be so dark. It's meant to be more vibrant and spongy.
Got it. Guys, here's the rocks, everybody.
Here we go.
Come on, everybody. You asked for rocks. You get the rocks. Bring the rocks, baby. Here they are. Grant's bringing rock number 1. Rock number 2. Rock number 3. He's even got 4 and 5 here today, guys. Rocks, rocks, rocks. What can we say about these rocks that we haven't said already, Grant?
You'd have to ask Kevin or Andre or Julian, or Lorette, who've been blasting these rocks out for a year now. So we've got to do it. It's got to happen.
When is the rock merchandise coming out? we
yeah,
gotta
it's like
know.
let's 3D print these and get these on our desks.
Gosh, look at this. Rock Newman is back, baby. Oh, look at the rocks, guys. Behold them. Behold their beauty.
Everybody gets a rock, literally.
Indeed. This man right here is the Oprah of rocks. All right, we're done with rocks. Okay, so we got some coral here.
Just the low polys. I do like to share some of this stuff in because Arable, the outsourced team that are currently working out of Ukraine, blasting out some of this work, and it's a bit monotonous and boring and unappreciated at times in the industry, but we wouldn't be able to make our game look so good without their work. And so I always like to show just how clean and custom each asset is. 9 out of 10 studios would automate this stuff, and then their low poly to high poly bakes wouldn't look anywhere near as good up close. And a lot of the stuff in our game is very big, and so we don't get away with it like other games. If everything in our game was human-sized, we would be much better off just automating and not worrying. But because you're literally having to stand next to it and the textures can't hold up, they've got to be perfectly baked.
That makes sense. Guys, we've got even more smoking hot rocks in the house. Boom.
Even I'm sick of the rocks now. No more rocks.
No, I got even more. I split them up so we could go rocks, no rocks in the last section here, so people could get just shocked rock shock. Look at these rocks. Look, here's some different ones. Look at that.
Okay, can we just skip over the rocks now, please?
No. We can't skip over. Just look at that. It's a rock. Look at that. All right, here's a plant.
Yeah, some of the latest work from Arena.
Looks good.
Do
you know where this is going to be located? Which region?
I honestly don't, to be honest. This was done while I've been taking a bit of a break, so...
Okay, no problem. Ooh, now this is a beautiful asset. I'm glad you showed this one today.
This is ridiculous. This is a huge asset. So much work went into this by Arthur and Akut.
We've got a number of leaks related to this one, actually. This isn't the only one.
Yeah, beautiful.
Look at the up-close detail on this.
Yeah.
I feel like the goo is going to come off on my finger, like whenever I touch this. It looks absolutely incredible.
we have animation on it. We'll have VFX. The illumination textures will animate, so those orbs will fill with the color. And I believe at some point there'll be VFX for when you fire at it, that color goo squishes out and you kind of pop them. So this may become a plant that you have to attack.
It's gonna be like, it's like bubble wrap, but colored and ooey gooey. Like, you've got to pop these. They have to be popped.
Someone said tremendous.
We'll highlight your comment. You win. Perfect. Tremendous indeed. Whoa, what is this?
These are some of the weird jelly plants from Shard Bluff, and instead of it being a black sphere, this will be a orb that's like filled with that lava stuff, and when you fire on them, it pops out the lava. And this is also one of the sources of the lava in the Shard Bluff region. So it's not actually lava, it's just a luminescent glowing material that the plants are creating. So it's not like it's coming from a volcanic eruption, so which I think is cool.
I agree. Oh yeah. Here's some more rocks.
Well, this is texturing, technically. This is technically.
Doesn't matter. Technically, it's textures. But like, look at the screen right now. That's like 90% rocks right there.
It's 90% texture as well. So.
That's true.
Yeah, 10%.
Look at that. Gosh.
10% disappointment.
Just big, voluptuous rocks.
Yeah, so just varying levels of stylized textures for all of our rocks in the game. This will go into Abyssal Basin as well. Just that mossy, dark. You know, these aren't final shaders, by the way. This is just Sean showcasing some of the texturing work he's been doing.
But you notice, the point here is, like, you notice how the textures are different, guys. Instead of having this exact pattern of flaw, let's call it, on the rock, on every single rock, it's going to vary, which will make it more realistic and more immersive. So this is the type of detail that Grant and the team are focusing on, as much as I poke fun of the rocks. Oh my God, Grant, are you serious? Another rock? No, just different texturing work, obviously. All right.
No, this one is actually about the rocks.
Oh man. This guy's got a rock problem.
Nice pair of stones you got there. The chat just goes all in, just taking the absolute How bad was it last week? I don't even want to know.
Oh, I mean, I did like a song, and like we did a whole thing about the rocks. It was a whole thing, Grant. Oh man, what are you gonna do? Look, we love rocks around here. What can we say? That was it. That was all the rocks leaks we have for this week. I'm so sorry. That was it. Grant, thank you for those leaks, man. That was fantastic. I gotta say that the animation around the obelisk was amazing. Yeah. The essences were gorgeous. We're seeing non-stop progress. The whole idea of having skinned buildings in Illuvium 0 is new and interesting. Felt like I got a lot of new stuff out of this episode, man. I appreciate you taking the time.
I swear I sent you some other stuff, but once again, maybe sometimes things slip through the cracky rocks. But yeah, I thought I was going to share the Illuvium 0 building skins and a couple of other videos about, but I'll hold them off for next week.
Yeah, just send them to me for next week, and we'll just load them on the front end of next showcase. So now you guys have something to look forward to next week. Illuvium 0 skins and some buildings. We'll kick things off. For those of you that are landowners or thinking about being landowners, you'll have something interesting to look forward to. Grant, any parting wisdom before we kick you out of this episode?
I'm going back to holidays and taking a break and recovering. I need it. I need it after the last 2 years. But I'll be back in about a week, so.
Makes sense. Just so you guys know, I'm just chatting with Grant and working with Grant. This guy pulls like 14, 16, 20-hour days sometimes. So he goes really hard, and then taking a break, obviously. Thank you for taking a break, and I know you're going to come back and go hard. And thanks for taking the time to spend this time with us. All right, cool. Man, I'll see you in the next episode then. You're going to relax until then, right?
I'll do my best not to go sculpt some more rocks.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm going to boot you out. Everybody, thank you so much for watching this episode of Illuvium Showcase each and every week on all of our channels. So be sure, if you want to watch it on Twitch, Twitter, or YouTube, it's available there. And of course, we will be uploading all of these leaks to our Discord server so you can download them, investigate them, make content about them as you see fit. And as I've been doing, you guys seem to like it. I'm gonna end it with some full volume Illuvium soundtrack music for you to enjoy as we end the episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios, everybody.